versus fish. Goat versus fish. Gather round, gather round, gather round, gather round, WillyTown. I wandered lonely as a fence, and miles to go before I goat, and miles to goat before I fish. Goat versus fish. The MC and master of celebration of WillyTown Fest. Some say it was not always so. Some say no, 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 there was one before goat versus fish. And of course, in the beginning, there was goat versus fish. So actually, before that one, it was still goat versus fish. But they offer wisdom. They offer wisdom and ponderings for your mind to contemplation. We know you are waiting for glow. We know you're waiting for glow. But you're just going to have to glow with the flow. You're just going to have to glow with the flow. Relaxation and celebration. For FlowPoetry!
It's nice to see you all out there. Hey, what's happening? WillyTown. All right. Hey, my name's FlowPoetry. Grateful to be here. Grateful to the Glow Stick boys for having me down. And thank you to Goat versus Fish for that. I'm going to groove some words into the room, and I hope you dig this. Just chill out. And you know what? You don't have to clap. All you got to do is snap. All you got to do is snap. All you got to do is snap. You don't have to clap. All you got to do is snap. All you got to do is snap. I'm cool with that. I got a song, ain't got no melody. I'm gonna sing it to myself. I got a song, ain't got no melody. I'm gonna sing it to myself. Will it go round in circles? Will it fly high like a bird up in the sky? Will it go round in circles? Will it fly high like a bird up in the sky? I got a song, ain't got no melody. I'm gonna sing it to myself. I got a song, ain't got no melody. I'm gonna sing it to myself. Will it go round in circles? Will it fly high like a bird up in the sky? Will it go round in circles? Will it fly high like a bird up in the sky? We'll fly a balloon to the moon and call it Mars. We'll have a pool on Neptune and a garage filled with stars. Annex me a crater, call it our country. Tell everyone there to let loose. Hey, WillyTown, let's get funky. I'll plant a flag on Mercury and call it Venus. We'll rise from the fire of the sun just like a phoenix. Maybe get us a boom box and blast decibels from our rover. Oh, I'm a funky space cadet. Space mama, come on over. We'll fly to the next galaxy as fast as an arrow. Tell everyone there ain't no rules. Hey, don't be narrow. Maybe juice up our starship with a nuclear reaction and create some fusion. Oh, make us all space cadets with that rhythm. Make us all space cadets with that rhythm. Now, sometimes we hide. If you ask us where, we just go. Come with us, we'll tell you. In the summer, it is a garden of hope. It is a garden of blossoms. It is a garden of sunlight. It is a garden of colors, too many to see. It is a garden of mulberries. It is a garden of bare feet. It is a garden of opening. It is a garden of light. It is a garden of revealing. It is a garden. There is no better word for it. In the winter, it is a garden of frozen leaves. It is a garden of icy steps. It is a garden of slumber. It is a garden of snowfall, too soft to believe. It is a garden of vines. It is a garden of leather shoes. It is a garden of decrease. It is a garden of cold wind. It is a garden of concealing. It is a garden. There is no better word for it. This garden runs through your alleyways. It scatters the meadows. It grows in the gravel, and it breathes. I can hear it breathe. See, I have fashioned a world out of words and hung it from a trestle bridge up out over a valley. It is true we are hungry. It is true we are waiting. I bring 3 stones wrapped in cotton. I offer 3 seeds wrapped in burlap. I bring 3 stones wrapped in cotton, 3 seeds wrapped in burlap. I bring 3 stones wrapped in cotton, 3 seeds wrapped in burlap. I bring 3 stones wrapped in cotton, 3 seeds wrapped in burlap. I bring 3 stones wrapped in cotton, 3 seeds wrapped in burlap. Hey, you better hope that you're getting back. Running out the door and you never know. You better hope that you left some slack. And just so you know, it's not how you go, but how you flow. I flowed on diamond cowboy spurs through fields of fern and dew. I flowed through walls of cannonballs and paths unknown but to few. I flowed into a silver dream, awake and laughing too. I flowed up to the fountainhead and kept on flowing through. Flow like ghosts on pirate ships and sunken treasure gleam. Flow like liquid sunlight beams reflected off of leaves of silver green. Flow through foggy waste of war, dodging bullets aimed at hearts. Flow continuously open-eyed with faith in a crystalline start. Flow through rivers ripe with rain that swell and course along the plain. Flow through ghetto lots at dusk, through Harlem jazz and old car rust. Flow through Qing and Ming and Shang, through Northern Way, both yin and yang. Flow through arroyos of smoke and dust, through fields of musket balls that rust, and wave spider webs away if you must. Pound your foot and preach to the sky. Raise one finger, point and fly. Stomp through fields of Dylan Thomas. Dig in your war chest, make a promise. Light the night with starry dew. Scat a song at saxophone speed. Flukely flow and roll them bones. Do you think it's chance that we're all here together? Loosely slipped, not tightly lipped. Spring is a newborn bird's first feather. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Hey, I want to say, I am grateful for you listening to my poetry. And I want to say to all the poets out there, if you got poems, please speak them out. The world needs more poetry, and that is a fact. And thank you again to Glowstick for welcoming all kinds of art here, painters and man. All right, I want to tell you a little story about the old Wild West. Now, you know Glowstick does go back to the Wild West. You can find historical photos of those guys back in the late 1800s. hanging out in the saloons of Tombstone. And this is a story about a man named Dan Pinkston. Dan Pinkston, if you ever heard of the Pinkston Boys, they were famous for doing a lot, busting heads. And Dan also ran a bar back in Tombstone in the day. His friends called him Pink. And this is a little encounter about when I ran into Dan Pinkston. Now, let me tell you about Pink's place in the town of Shoshone, where a man could get drunk and fall into trouble. Change your name on payday. The book might pay you double. Buy a few sticks of dynamite in case you have to clear off some rubble. 5,000 people, not a respectable one among them. Mining camps, cow towns, and railroad villages, the toughest of the lot. Shoshone at midnight, a place to make a name or a place to get shot. Stabbings and shootings, as common as houseflies. The cemetery was filled with men in their boots. In a bar sat a wheel of misfortune and sorrow. Stud poker and whiskey were all that I dreamed of. Now, Pink stood for Pinkston. His first name was Dan. He wore the first alligator belt north of the line. His cane was ivory with a gold knob at one end, and a dagger in the tip said it had been stuck in 7 men. Now, Dapper Dan was born just outside of New Orleans, the handsomest man I ever did see. He waxed his mustache with snake oil from the south of France. He smelled like lime from a bay rum tree. His face was as smooth as a barbershop strop. When he drank, he turned pale like the whores up the stairs. While his 44 was never in evidence, we all knew that he wore it. Pink's woman ran the business, so he could play cards. Oh, he looked like $1 million, or at least 50,000. Enough to get me interested in his office and his safe. Black powder would have done the job, might have heaved up some boulders, might have led to some fun, might have messed up the place. At the third stroke of midnight, I shot him when he rose. The law had been paid off. It was time for a change. Pink's woman owed a debt more than money to the sheriff. I took a look in his safe, and then I went to Pocatello to rob my last stage. Now, this is historical, boys, listen up. To rob a stage, you don't need to be fast. You don't need no cover or ambush and plan. Just go riding out with 4 good fellas on horses. Rein them to the side. Point your rifle at the driving man. Unyoke the horses and let go the traces. Hit the man on the slat bed buckboard over the head. Tell the driver, oh, you can yell for the law when the horizon clears. And then pull back into Shoshone wearing an 8-day beard. I'm gonna get me a plow and a white picket fence. I'm gonna buy me a tarpaulin and a bag full of seeds. I'm gonna get me one woman more holy than horny. I'm gonna get me another, teach her to do the striptease. First, drink me some whiskey and shoot me some lights. Next, stash some more dynamite in the bedroll, 'cause you don't ever know. If you play poker in Shoshone, you might find yourself low. Might have to ride off looking for the next Dapper Dan. Take a glance in his safe without laying a hand. Thank you. Hey, everybody, put your hands together for Liz Vega, please. one of the beautiful things about WillyTown is the collaborations that just happen kind of unexpectedly. And Liz is going to join me for a little bit. And there's going to be a lot of collaborations all night. Schwag is going to be up there with Glow Stick Willie. Man, we are in for a great night. And you know, that rain was just about perfect, right? A little bit of a rain, got humid for a minute, and now it's just all beauty. Up to you. You're so kind, Moon Man. You want me to start? Love and light. Love and light. Desire and experience. Love and light. Desire and experience. Quintessence. 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 Ascend, my love, ascend. Ascend, my love, ascend. Ascend, my love, ascend. Not hot, not cold, not wet, not dry. Quintessence. Ascend, my love, ascend. Ascend, my love, ascend. Ascend, my love, ascend. Quintessence. From space to air, from air to fire, from fire to water, from water to earth. Quintessence. Quintessence. Ascend, my love, ascend. Ascend, my love, ascend. Ascend, my love, ascend. Sinew, bone, blood, tears, heat, energy, wind, breath, crystalline spheres. Crystalline spheres. Not hot, not cold, not wet, not dry. From space to air, from air to fire, from fire to water, from water to earth. Ascend, my love, ascend. When the light of the sun reaches 20 below, and the breath of the day starts to freeze, I'll still think of you in the times that I'm lost, and I'll dream of the days that might be. Though the shadow of the stars drew us apart, and the grass and the trees wept to see, I'll still think of you in the middle of the night, and I'll dream of the days that might be. I remember us still, and how we attempted to fill those days of sorrow with laughter and love. And I think of us then, when we were just friends, and we dreamed of the days that might be. In the dark of the fen, where the light couldn't portend, and the silence was louder than screams. I think of us then, how we clung against the wind, and we dreamed of the days that might be. The days that might be. The days that might be. I think of us then, how we clung against the wind, and we dreamed of the days that might be. I dreamed I lived in a Japanese house with a Chinese wife for a time of my life. There were sliding doors with Fuji forest pine, and we would drink our tea as the crickets chimed. I dreamed I sat in an old cane chair, the morning sunlight seeping through slatted filigree. It would pool over my feet and wash warm summer rain. Blue cloth covered rattan table. At night, in my dream, I could hear the wind in the eaves and the mountain breeze coming up through the boards, lightly, lightly, scent of jasmine from the garden. I cut a hardened bamboo joint, later watched smoke curl up to a royal blue ceiling. I dreamed I carried rugs from Pakistan and laid them in my Japanese house. My wife would walk barefoot to the tokonoma, and she would read without blinking. I dreamed I hung white linen on the walls. It would ripple and wave in the breeze, like the clean sheets hung on the line in the sun-filled yard. And I would awaken to the sounds of my wife whispering. I stood naked in the middle of that house in my dream, my arms outstretched and my head laid back. As the warm summer rain began to fall, the earth, it was green and dank. My wife wrapped herself around me, and when I looked in her eyes, I saw my son. I dreamed that Taiwan table laden with food, bottles of wine, ruby red and purple glow, an open gate, dogs scrambling to bark, sounds of motorcycles coming up the dark street. And when guitar played in my house in my dreams, I would bang on the percussion pots. The heaves would hum and pulse and beat. They would reverb like a tuning fork was in each plank of pine. I I saw my friends dance in my Japanese house in my dream, snap their fingers and shake their hair and beards. The whole house would trampoline bounce. It would shimmy about like to take off. Oh, we would stand under the street lamps and we would laugh and we would dream. We would stand under the street lamps and we would laugh and we would dream. Can't you see us dreaming? Hey, WillyTown, can't you see us dreaming? Saturday night at WillyTown, can't you see us dreaming? Liz Vega, everybody. This one's called Dreamland by Christina Rossetti, and I'm gonna roll it into one by the great poet Jim Morrison. You know, he was a Venice poet, right? Down in California before the Doors snapped him up and he opened the door. And I'm grateful for Liz for being up here. Thank you so much. Liz Vega, come on, raise your voices. Where sunless rivers weep their waves into the deep, she sleeps a charmed sleep. Awake her not. Led by a single star, she came from very far to seek where shadows are, her pleasant lot. She left the rosy morn, she left the fields of corn for twilight cold and lorn and water springs. Through sleep, as through a veil, she sees the sky look pale and hears the nightingale that sadly sings. Rest, rest, a perfect rest shed over brow and breast. Her face is toward the west, the purple land. She cannot see the grain ripening on hill and plain. She cannot feel the rain upon her hand. Rest, rest forevermore upon a mossy shore. Rest, rest at the heart's core till time shall cease. Sleep that no pain will wake, night that no morn shall break, till joy shall overtake her perfect peace. Awake. Shake dreams from your hair, my pretty child, my sweet one. Choose the day and choose the sign of your day. Jim Morrison, the day's divinity. First thing you see, a vast, radiant beach in a cool, jeweled moon. Couples naked race down by its quiet side, and we laugh like soft, mad children, snug in woolly cotton brains of infancy. The music and voices are all around us. Choose, they croon, the ancient ones. The time has come again. Choose now, they croon, beneath the moon, beneath an ancient lake. Enter again the sweet forest. Enter the hot dream. Come with us. Everything is broken up and dances. Indians scattered on dawn's highway bleeding. Ghosts crowd the young child's fragile eggshell mind. We have assembled inside this ancient and insane theater to propagate our lust for life and flee the swarming wisdom of the streets. The barns have stormed, the windows kept, and only one of all the rest to dance and save us from the divine mockery of words. Music inflames temperament. O great creator of being, grant us one more hour to perform our art and perfect our lives. O great creator of being, grant us one more hour to perform our art and perfect our lives. We need great golden copulations. When the true king's murderers are allowed to roam free, 1,000 magicians arise in the land. Where are the feasts we are promised? When the true king's murderers are allowed to roam free, 1,000 magicians arise in the land. Where are the feasts we are promised? Liz Vega, everybody. All right, I got a few more little ones for you, and then Glow Stick Willie's coming up. It's gonna be a fantastic night, everybody. Sump is in the house. Nebo's wandering around somewhere, getting himself ready, and it's all going down. I got a friend who's a friend of a friend. He's a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend. He's got a friend who's a friend of a friend. He's a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend. She's got a friend who's a friend of a friend. She's a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend. And we're all friends of friends of friends. We're friends of a friends of a friend of a friend. Aurora had black holes for eyes. Aurora had an apartment with a fire escape. Aurora had a telescope with a zoom lens. Aurora had a hard-on for the space station. Aurora had a need for singularity. Aurora worked at a strip club called the Supernova. Aurora missed her mother on another planet. Aurora dreamed constantly of a spaceman. Aurora cartwheeled across the Milky Way on one hand. Aurora watched midnight special reruns from on Mars. Aurora was surrounded by wormholes. Aurora danced in a spotlight by a lake. Aurora had a postcard signed by Bowie. Aurora drove a test engine from NASA. Aurora was 17 Sunday solar masses in a teaspoon. Aw, she's my propeller girl. Her golden curls spin me round the world. Aurora had fishnet stockings made on Venus. Aurora had eyeshadow shaded cerulean green. Aurora had mirrors on her miniskirt. Aurora had a Tektite and titanium picture frame. Aurora had her savings all in Dogecoin. Aurora was not above the quick crush. Aurora practiced Soul Train steps at the disco. Aurora loved waffles and space dust for breakfast. Aurora was buying scratch-offs for the grand prize. Aurora was occupied with her eyebrows. Aurora had 1,000 light-year stare. Aurora was mining memes for page views. Aurora was in lust with a solar wind. Aurora was down with interdimensional time travel. Aurora was 17 Sunday solar masses in a teaspoon. Oh, she's my propeller girl. Her golden curls spin me round the world. She's my propeller girl. Out on the dance floor, she's a tilt-a-whirl, 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 tilt-a-whirl. Out on the dance floor, she's a tilt-a-whirl. This is where the rubber meets the road. This is where the rubber meets the road. This is where the rubber meets the rubber baby buggy bumpers, rubber baby buggy bumpers. This is where the rubber meets the road. This is where the rubber meets the road. This is where the rubber meets the road. This is where the rubber meets the rubber baby buggy bumpers, rubber baby buggy bumpers, rubber baby buggy bumpers. This is where the rubber meets the road. Cut heads or heal hearts. Cut heads or heal hearts. You get a fox out of his hole by smoking him out. You get a fox out of his hole by smoking him out. Now, I had 2 tickets to Amsterdam, but I couldn't get a loan. I went down to the bank. They told me just go home. Saw the man on the corner, said, brother, lend a hand. Gave him my last quarter. Went to join a rock and roll band. Cut heads or heal hearts. Cut heads or heal hearts. You get a fox out of his hole by smoking him out. You get a fox out of his hole by smoking him out. I know an old rat who birthed a young rat who filled a dumpster overflowing with garbage. Hey, you got any spare change, man? I know a soft-shelled scorpion birthed by a soft-shelled scorpion who stung a rusty scorpion that hid in a spider hole and drank up all the mud crude at the bottom of an oil barrel. Hey, you got any spare change, man? I know a giant slider that slugged up beside us and took all our silver and slithered and gurgled like a 2-bit insider. Hey, you got any spare change, man? Cut heads or heal hearts. Cut heads or heal hearts. Now, Harlem lawyers are talking about money. Kansas office workers are smoking crack. Politicians are burning the Confederate flag. They think Dixie's about to attack. The Dalai Lama's holding court in Central Park, and everybody's crying about lack. And I'm just lying here breathless in bed. Got my fatty, my kind, and some glass. Got my green, my dreams, and anti-aircraft flak. Got my notebook, pen, poems in a stack. Got my lady luck-loaded hammer back. Sometimes you gotta scream to be heard in the back. Sometimes you gotta scream to be heard in the back. Hey, WillyTown, if you're in the back, let me hear you. Sometimes you gotta scream to be heard in the back. Cut heads or heal hearts. Cut heads or heal hearts. You get a fox out of his hole by smoking him out. You get a fox out of his hole by smoking him out. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the story of the greatest rock and roll show on earth. Now, I've seen a lot go down since my mama gave birth, but nothing touches WillyTown because it's got all the heart. And at the end of the day, this music blows the skies apart. So I want to give a shout out to some citizens of WillyTown from the poet. If I don't mention your name, it don't mean I don't know it. It's just that some are easy to rhyme and others ain't. So don't try to change me, because this ink has turned to dry paint. Oh, there's Evan Lace rocking his rage face. He's making his art like he's in outer space. And that's okay by me. Dude's still in the race. Been holding it down and keeping up the pace. And Samson Dice is looking real nice, smiling like $1,000,000 and always cool as ice. He's smooth as Italian silk, you better believe. Got some nugs in his pocket and a joker up each sleeve. And dear Otis Blevins, well, nothing rhymes with your name. Screvens, Devins, McCrevens, wait, I got it. How about heaven? You're the glue that holds the ship together, just like bread needs to leaven. I was there when you said, why me? But now you see it spreading. And I can't forget Dimebag Harold. I don't know if he's here because he's the man with the jacket, selling all the merch and skimming bootlegs, and it ain't no racket. He got a shirt in every size, and he knows how to stack it. Those venues better watch that Patron, because he's likely to jack it. And Ralph Mouth has got the largest heart. When it starts beating, he'll tear you apart. Kicks in the double bass drum and gives all the Willy girls a jump start. I swear that boy's turning rock beats into art. Now my brother Buddha, he holds the bottom in his hand. Got that Black Hills style coming straight from the Badlands. I seen him rock the Van Zant with a psychedelic headband. His beard be so oily, it give him that slap bass pimp hand. And old J Mo, well, you know he's in the know. If you need a favor, you ain't got far to go. He shreds 64 bars when he's ripping a solo. That brother's so fast, he makes the wind blow. So here's to the fans and the friends who make it all happen. WillyTown is lit and everybody's dabbing. The time to rage is now and you all got nothing to fear. So put your horns in the air. Come on, WillyTown, give yourself a cheer.